And welcome to the Breakin Broncos podcast. I gained one co-host to lose another. So, don't know where my co-host is. I don't have any text messages. I don't have anything from him. So, I don't know. We might have him. We might not. I don't know what happened to the guy. We have a missing persons report to report. Any police around? Any police in the audience? No? Okay, whatever. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the Broncos since we don't have anybody to introduce. As um, the offseason is going, things, hope is abound. Everything's all sunshine and rainbows in Dove Valley. And, well, they've tried to make it even brighter. As it turns out, the Broncos hosted a gun buyback event. It is actually the fourth one they've had so far in the year of 2022. So I wanted to bring this up as I thought it was a really cool event by the Broncos. They have bought back a total of over 430 guns. They are paying people upwards of $250 with Visa gift cards to purchase their guns back from them. And the best part about it is that they destroy them in a way that they are never useful again. They cut them with a saw in three different places. That means that those guns are no longer useful. And to absolutely ensure that those guns are never used for harm again, this company, I forgot the name. I am sorry. Where's Aurora's Heritage Christian Center? That is who is doing these in conjunction with the Broncos. They're having people bring them to Empower Field at Mile High or some other locations that they've done as well. And again, over 430 guns have been taken off of the market. And yes, that might not put a big dent in the overall gun violence issue that we have here in America today, but it is a definite good step. And that is 430 plus less guns that can be used for things such as suicide, which actually makes up over 3/4, again, 3/4 of the suicides or of the deaths done or deaths caused by gun violence in the state of Colorado. Over 3/4, over 75% of them are done by handgun. Simply because it's just an easy way to do it. I mean, who wants to sit there and go through the pain of slicing their wrists or the miserable last few moments of an overdose? Just shoot yourself and it's over with. And it's usually done by people that don't know how to safely uh, put away their guns. Simple as that. And to give you all some context, we are not just some gun hating leftists. I, myself, own three, not one, not two, but three. I own a handgun, a shotgun, and a rifle. Why? Because the real reasons why. The reasons the Second Amendment was created to hunt and to fish and to protect my family. I don't have an AR 15. My rifle is not an assault rifle, it is a bolt action hunting rifle. It is made for one purpose, and that's hunting other animals for food. And yes, I eat what I hunt. I eat what I fish. I am not your typical liberal. I know a lot of y'all try and stick me in a box, but I keep trying to tell y'all you're an idiot for doing so because I'm going to embarrass you eventually. Even if you don't think that I get you at that moment, eventually you're gonna do something that I'm gonna show you just how stupid you are for trying to put me in that box. So again, not gun hating, lefty, liberal, woke idiot. I own guns. I know how to safely, excuse me, safely store them. I know how to safely shoot them. I know how to safely hunt. I have never had a gun accident. I've never had a gun mishap. Why? Because I know the right way to handle them. I was raised right. I was raised around them. So I don't have a fear of them. I am not saying these things because I fear guns. I fear idiots with guns. That is the problem in America, is that you don't have to be like me to own a gun. You don't have to be responsible. You don't have to prove anything other than you are an American citizen without a prior criminal record. It doesn't matter if you have mental health issues. It doesn't matter if you have a history of depression. It doesn't matter if you have a history of violence as long as you don't have any felonies on your record. That's about the only way that you can't get a gun in America. You can be batshit crazy. You could be out your ever loving mind, like the dude in Uvalde, like the kid in Buffalo, like that retard in Sandy Hook. Every one of those guys had red flags from a mental health standpoint, from the things that they said online. I am sorry, but yes, you have a freedom of speech, but if you're out here saying that you're going to murder a bunch of people, I don't care if you say that you're joking. If you say you're going to murder a bunch of people, you shouldn't be allowed to buy guns. Period. Say what you want about. I didn't tell you that you can't say those things. Yeah, you have the freedom of speech, but you don't have the freedom of consequence. That's where people got this jacked up. They think that just because they have a freedom of speech, that they should be allowed to say anything and everything they want, no matter how dumb, retarded, or just insane it might be, without any repercussions. That is not what the Constitution protects you from. It does not protect you from the consequences of your words. It protects you from the consequences of saying those words just simply because you said them. But if somebody punches you in the mouth, you still had the freedom of speech, but you said something that ticked somebody else, so they punched you in the mouth. That's the consequence that the Constitution does not protect you from. What it protects you from is from a Gestapo being created in America to go and round up people that say things other people don't like and have them persecuted like they do in Saudi Arabia, where they took Jamal Khashoggi and cut him up into little pieces. That's what it protects you from. It protects you from the government coming and hacking you up like Bonesaw Solomon, or like Putin in Russia that has murdered and imprisoned thousands, if not millions, of people just simply because they said things he doesn't like. That is what the freedom of speech protects you from. It does not protect you from somebody calling you an idiot and proving that you're an idiot. So keep this in mind when you morons want to try the freedom of speech BS. Nobody cares. You have protections from the government persecuting you, not from private citizens and companies. Just shut up. If you don't know what something means, just like all of you Second Amendment gun nuts, none of you know what the Second Amendment actually says, let alone understand it like the way that you tried to bastardize it. So I don't want to hear any gun nuts. I don't want to hear any BS from anybody because I will make you feel stupid. Hey, yo, there he is, finally. Sorry.
Speaking of idiots with guns, what's up?
Yes, I got into a tirade about guns. My bad.
Yeah, speaking of idiots with gun, what's up, baby? How you doing? I dare Biden to come take my guns.
Right? Hey, like I said, man, I am not a gun-fearing idiot. That's like I told him. I got 3. Not 1, not 2, but 3. 3 different kinds. Handgun.
I know we have multiple in the house, and I think there might be one back there.
He's like, there's one over here in the corner.
I think there might be one back there. I'm not sure though.
I got a concealed carry permit. Okay, I am not a gun-fearing liberal. I don't mind guns in the right hands. My problem is when you have obviously disturbed individuals like the kid in Uvalde, like the kid in Buffalo that were online talking about murdering people and then are allowed to go and buy weapons of mass murder. Like,
what was the
mind-blowing?
The Belmar guy who wrote a book about it before he did it?
He wrote a book, literally, yes. The guy that went around here shooting up Belmar and all the tattoo parlors less than a year ago wrote a book saying everything he was going to do, and then they let him go buy guns. Like, he was on the FBI watch list at one point.
America.
And was still allowed to go buy guns.
Let's go, America. Let's go. Good job.
Yes. Gun buyback problems are always a positive, and it just warmed my heart to see that my Broncos were getting in on the action. And again, they weren't just grabbing them and then selling them to a reseller that got them back into. No, they cut them in 3 different places.
Were they throwing it through the grinder like RNA?
Yeah, they did.
The NRA.
Yeah, but like the NRA, exactly.
Yeah.
They did it in person before the person left. The person watched their guns. And I'm sorry, but it was kind of satisfying to watch so many AR-15s get cut into pieces. That was a wonderful thing to me. I think that gun belongs in any citizen's hands. Like, I don't care. You can't convince me that you need an AR-15 to hunt. Because if you need an AR-15 to hunt, you shouldn't be hunting.
Well, hunt people, baby. That's what that means.
Exactly. You're hunting people.
Bro, if you can't go, if you miss a pheasant with a shotgun, you do not deserve to hunt.
Exactly. It's insane to me, like, the arguments that people come up with for this crap. It's like, none of it makes any sense.
Bro,
like,
the only
not hear yourself.
I don't even think I know the last time I shot, but I don't remember when. It was years ago. Popping prairie dogs' heads off at the farm.
Yeah, last time I shot was about a week ago when I took my 40 to the range. Like, but it's like I said, like, I have never had a gun mishap. I've never shot anybody on accident. I've never shot myself on accident. I've never come close to doing either of them.
I don't trust myself with a gun, dude.
You what?
I don't trust myself with a gun.
He says I don't trust myself. Well, see, I was raised around them.
So was I. But it was just like, I could still shoot, but it's just like, I don't know if I should be holding this right now. I make a lot of mistakes.
Right? He's like, there's always that chance.
I know I shot myself with a BB gun, but not a real gun yet.
Yeah. Even with a BB gun, that's what I was saying. Like, that's why I don't understand these people that do. It's like the only way you can have these accidents is because you're an idiot.
Yo, if you have to go hunt rabbits with an AR-15, I've been doing that with an airsoft gun my whole life.
Right. Exactly. Dude, that's the things that I'm talking about. It's like, I need an AR-15 to hunt. To hunt what? Unless you're hunting humans, it's the worst hunting rifle ever.
Yeah, you'll tear a bear up and you'll just ruin a deer with that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you'll just tear the meat will be uneatable for like half of wherever the bullet touches and like 2 feet in any direction of where the bullet entered and exited. Like,
the only way I see buying an AR-15 is if you go to the range, which that's fun. That is fun. Going to the range with an AR.
Yeah, but that's
I've done that with some buddies.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying none of your arguments make. It's not because you want to hunt with it. It's because you got a small PP and you need to compensate. Like, that's all it is. You can't convince me otherwise. The only reason you need a bigger, badder gun is because you're sad with yourself. Like, you got to compensate for something.
I don't think our 22 is doing the job anymore at the prairie dogs. I'm gonna have to go buy a Barrett 50 cal.
Right.
Go kill some prairie dogs. Why not?
Right. You go,
dude, they wouldn't exist.
Dude, a 22 does enough damage. Could you imagine a 50 cal?
I'm gonna throw some tannerite in a hole, dude, and just shoot it.
You would create a new hole out of the prairie dog. There would be nothing left. And that would be brutal to watch.
Yeah, we need to find somebody who owns a 50 cal. I need to go do that.
Hey, I need to talk to my homeboy, Rob He's ex-military, so
Oh, he's got the hookups.
he's got to have the hookup. He's got an AR-15. He is one of the only people that because he's an ex soldier. Like he actually, fought a war. He actually shot people because that was his job. So those are fun. Like I'm okay with soldiers, ex-soldiers having AR-15s and stuff like that because they were trained on it. It's a part of their body. They're not going
Yeah.
to accidentally shoot somebody, and they're also not going to go and create mass murder. Most of those guys don't even want to shoot another gun when they get back because they're so messed up. Like, yeah, there's some like
Just
my
like
guy
John
Rob.
John Wilkes Booth accidentally shot Lincoln. That was just a misfire.
Yeah, it was just a
Yeah.
misfire, right? We're going off the rails with this one.
I'm sorry, that one I had to.
No, you're good. We've both been going on it, man.
I was about to make the. Nah, I'm not gonna say. I'll tell you after.
All right, we do that. Oh man, I lost my rundown. Shoot.
Next one's your Walton's to-do list.
Oh yes. All right. So up next we have Walton's to-do list. Let's go back on track and get talking about Broncos. Walton, as we all know, Rob Walton and the Walton Pinner Group just bought the Broncos for $4.65 billion. So yes, very, very happy. The Broncos now have the richest owner in American sports. And again, we talked about what that means.
Colorado now has the richest and the worst owner in sports in Stan Kroenke.
Right. Yeah. Actually, the second richest, like this is insane how insane Rob Walton's money is. The second richest owner in NFL is Tepper, the owner of the Carolina Panthers. And he has a lot of money at $16 billion. Rob's all the way up here at 70.
Triples it.
Yeah. Almost what's the multiplication of 7? Is that septuplet? Septulet? I don't know. One of those
7 times.
Yeah, he's worth almost 7 times as much as Tepper. So what would be on this man's to-do list? Because it's come out that he was not going to allow anyone to outbid him. If the bid would have moved to $5 billion, he would have put down 5.2. If the next person went to 5.5, he was going to put down 6. He was not going to allow anybody else to buy the Broncos.
And that's why I like him now. That's one of the reasons why, is because he cares. It's not like he was just putting in a bid and he just suddenly won it.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
No, this was going to be his team.
Yeah, like he wanted it. So that's good sign number 1.
Yeah.
Good sign number 2
to sign the checks.
Yeah, and good sign number 2 is that means he's going to pay Russ probably before the season starts.
Yes, and that is the number 1 thing on his to-do list from Breakin' Broncos: sign Russ. We've all said it. We all know what's going to happen. There's no way that Russ is going to be allowed to go anywhere else, and we are both convinced there is no longer a salary cap. Stan Kroenke proved it.
Dude.
And again, our owner has 10 times the money Stan Kroenke does. So
what just happened to? I was going to turn off. I went to go hit my lights button. I was trying to change the color. I pressed the button. It changed the color, and my camera just turned off. So
that was great. I just see your finger go. I was like, it looked like you just reached up and like, screw you guys, I'm turning off my camera.
I was just trying to change the color of my lights. It was too bright. I was looking white as hell.
That was just great. I was like, okay, well, I guess he doesn't want to see.
I'm having a good summer with tan, but God, this camera's not it's not giving me the time of day with that.
Right.
White as hell.
Right. We'll get it figured out as we go. See, if y'all share our stuff and you make us famous, then I could just buy him.
You need to see that text I sent you when I was telling you I was here.
Oh no, I have not checked.
Oh, it was good.
Let's see how good. It's pretty good. That's a pretty good still picture. I look really pissed off right there.
It was as soon as you were saying these retards who own ARs.
That's great. That's a perfect still frame. It looks like I'm just screaming at somebody off camera, like I'm Bill O'Reillying it. Screw it. We'll do it live.
God, dude, I don't know how many times we said that.
I know. So many times.
Oh, dude, no. I like number 2 on this list, though. Let's get some new unis.
Yes. I like
Even
the
if they're the
color rush.
same and you upgrade it.
Yes, I say we go retro. Let's use the upgraded D logo from the Color Rush uniforms. Go back to the blue with the white pants.
Oh,
I like that.
dude. Yeah, dude. That helmet with those would look so clean.
Oh yes, that would slap so hard.
You
It's
know
got
what I think would go way harder is if they did they got to stick all whites. You got to go all white uniforms for away, and you get like a alternate helmet for that.
so kind of like well the problem is that with the NFL you
Oh yeah,
have
the
to
alternate
use the
helmets.
same
Yeah,
helmet through the entire season. So that's been the biggest problem with like teams mix and matching helmets. Um, and it's because what they have to do is on the color rush they actually put essentially like a shrink wrap over the
yeah.
regular helmets and it only lasts for like a game or two. That's why they don't do it more often. So that's the big problem there. You have to find one helmet design and pretty much stick with it because of the NFL
You
safety.
know, I want to stick with the logo they have now. I love the logo right now. It's just iconic at this point. It's
Hmm.
like how the D used to be back in the 80s and 90s.
Right. And I
That's where
mean,
it's at. It's not
I
like
do
that
like the
level,
new
but it's
logo.
like that's what you see that Broncos. That's what
Yes.
you think. And I would love for that. And you upgrade the uniforms. You just how they look now. Go off of that. You
Awesome.
go from that.
We got really big heads. We're on a 65-inch screen.
Oh God, dude. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't even
We
want
got
to know what that
super
looks
big
like.
heads. She keeps trying to tell people not to make my head bigger, and then she makes it as big as possible. I don't know.
I don't know.
I
We need
give
to
up.
get you. We need to paint that wall behind you still.
Yeah, we do at some point. Something. I've been getting there, but we have some
Oh
other
yeah.
things that might. The reason I haven't, I don't really want to get into that, but long story short, I haven't because things have kind of yo-yoed back and forth with the business and things. So I've had intention to actually like go and get some better insulation, cut down
Yeah.
on echo, things of that nature, change the color. But
I need to ask you about that text you sent me last night because I was in bed when you sent that to me and I fell asleep after I sent
yes,
you the info.
we will talk. We will talk
Yeah.
more after. Yes,
Yeah.
I talked to Callie before. We will talk with you after.
Gotcha.
So
Because then but
I
if
know.
they back on the unis though, I agree. I want to go back to blue and you go orange alternate because it was just nice to see the orange every once in a while. The orange just kind of got a little old to me, just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it makes them unique. They're the only ones that
But
wear an actual orange.
I
But
think you
yeah,
switch up the blue, the shade of blue though. I think you go back to that powder blue.
I I I mean, I think well, the LA Chargers have kind of cornered the market on powder blue. I like the navy blue. I like the dark
I
blue.
do like the navy, but it's
Yeah,
like God, if you get the orange and powder blue back together,
that would be nice. But I mean, yeah.
yeah.
How
I
does that
forgot
work
that
when they're
the
playing
Chargers were
against the
the
Chargers? You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like that's going to be so similar.
I forgot they
If
went back to those after they upgraded to.
yeah. So,
God,
and
those uniforms are
now if
clean
that
too.
wasn't the case, I'd be all with you. But I think there'd probably be some trademark
Screw it.
issues at
We're
that
going back
point.
to brown and gold.
Dude, I will burn them all. I will burn down the new stadium if it ever gets built. And speaking of possible new stadiums, how about the fact that again, the man's not only bought a $25 million complex in Cherry Creek for him and his family to live at, they bought another multi-million dollar undeveloped land out by the airport. So I don't know why people I know I get the journalistic integrity of allegedly, possibly, never wanting to say definites. But when they've already bought the land, I think we can say there's going to be a new stadium.
Oh, definitely. And people who are afraid that they're going to move the team, they're not. They
No,
will not move the team.
you
And
don't buy
that's number
$25
one.
million dollars worth of homes and then move.
Yeah, and then that's the main indicator is that and the land out by the airport.
Yes, I mean they bought two plots of land. One
Okay, let me
again
try
was
to
a
fix
bunch
this
of
camera.
houses in Cherry Creek, super rich company, the same neighborhood.
Daddy's money.
Yeah,
Sorry.
the same neighborhood that Russell Wilson and Sierra just bought their house. That's not a coincidence, people.
Oh
And the
no,
fact that they've already had barbecues together. Come on.
God, dude, that area is so nice, dude.
Yes.
I wish, dude. I wish I could walk down the street without a fear of getting robbed or stabbed or shot. God, my area was not the greatest.
Or take the chance, that instead of going around the corner and meeting Billy Bob or, Corn Pop, then you'll go around the corner and run into Russell Wilson or Rob Walton or Nathaniel Hackett. That's the worries of Cherry Creek. So
you know what the worries of where I lived was? A homeless guy walking up to me.
Sorry, what?
I said, you know what the worries are for where I lived when I was still there? A homeless guy coming up to me and either robbing me or asking for money.
Right. Or humping your leg. I've seen that.
Or hitting him with a fence post.
Yeah, or hitting you with a fence post. That happens too.
God,
and then it breaks in half and you make the person crap themselves.
Oh, God, dude. Oh.
Greatness. Greatness plus greatness equals greatness.
Family Dollar, never forget.
Speaking of no worries, the Broncos had no worries on the final day of OTAs as they were canceled, as it has been tradition since Vic Fangio came into town. Hackett canceled OTAs, had a field day. They had a bunch of fun.
Good.
Some people are whining. I don't know why. Are you okay with this tradition continuing?
Yeah. I'm because it's OTAs, people. It's not like we're stopping the middle of training camp, or even a practice before a playoff game. This is OTAs. These are voluntary OTAs.
Well, no, these are mandatory.
We're mandatory now.
June is mandatory. Right. Yes, May is voluntary. June is, but still, it's OTAs. And I mean, think about it. When you were a kid,
dude, it's
and
team
your
building.
last day of school.
Did
you do work?
Hell no, dude. We watch movies and we're outside.
Did you go a trigonometry test on your last day of school? No, you were watching.
Okay, high school is different. High school was. I'm not going to bring that up on the show, but there may have been some alcohol involved.
Went to school on the last day of school. It was a miracle. Okay.
So, yeah, I think I missed. Actually, now that I think about it, I think I missed most of my last days.
I mean,
except my senior one because I had to be there.
Really, that's funny. I think I went to all but one because, normally I'd end up going to I always had an in with one of the cool teachers that would do something awesome on the last day of school. So I would usually show up because they were going to do something awesome. But my senior year, I did my senior.
Because I checked out early.
I didn't show up for the last week of class.
Yeah, the last day. The last day, I usually didn't have classes in the afternoon because I'd have online classes, and by then I'd be done. Mm-hmm. So I would check out a day early. Except my senior year, I had to be there.
Yeah.
And I was crying.
My senior year, dude, I didn't show up for the last week.
Dude, I didn't want to go to graduation. I just wish they could have mailed my diploma to me.
I went to graduation, but I didn't show up to class for the last week. I was I already got all my grades are essentially final. None of my classes were going to be doing anything other than maybe, I don't know, coloring pictures or something like we're in kindergarten.
God,
yeah, I'm not going.
Dude. Some of those last days were.
If I did go to school at the last, it was I was usually just in the gym playing with whatever the GM or the gym teacher's doing for the entire day. If I did anything.
Oh, we did that. That wasn't even a last day of school. That was just a Friday in the middle of the year. We went into the gym and we went and found the baseball bats, tennis balls, and gloves. And we were just hitting balls around the gym until we broke a light and it was hanging from the roof of the gym.
Yep. It's usually how it went. We just go in there until something broke and then everybody disappeared.
Or unless I hurt somebody.
Right, that too. Worried about
it. Good times.
Yeah, great times. But so
good tradition, team building.
Some people say, it's a new offense, it's a new coach, a new quarterback. You need every single moment possible. So, do you think this is hurtful or beneficial?
Beneficial because they were practicing before OTA started. People.
Thank you. Team bonding, people.
It's team bonding, team building.
Y'all about team chemistry.
This is where they're going to become friends.
Exactly.
If they aren't really already friends.
Which, I mean, they've already had. Russell's had already over half the team in California, and now the entire team's constantly out at his complex he bought in Cherry Creek. So, I mean, there is no more bonding can be done. Okay. All of the bonding, all of the training, all of the practicing, they've done everything to the max level. Outside of a few voluntary OTAs where Melvin Gordon, Jerry Jeudy, and a couple other guys weren't able to show up for personal issues or getting arrested, they've had 100% attendance at these things.
And
one day is not going to make the difference.
We were talking. It was like, I would get it that people would be mad if, let's say, the Avs canceled practice the night before yesterday's game to have a field day. Then I would get it. It's not like they're stopping the night before the Super Bowl or the week of the Super Bowl to have a field day.
Right.
It's the middle of the summer. We're not even in season yet. Let them have a good time. Let them have their day off.
Let them have a day. Let them have a day.
It's like, one day. It's not like it's a week.
Seriously complaining because of them canceling 4 hours of practice that they're not even able to hit each other at yet. They can only have on helmets, no shells. Like, they still can't have contact at this point. Not until
after. They can't contact until after the first week of training camp, right?
Yeah. No, I think it's like a couple days. Like, they have a few days, like the first 3 or 4 days. I have to look up the exact numbers, but it's like somewhere between first 2 and 4 days they can't have contact, but then after that they can ramp it up from there. But yeah, so like they're not even in contact yet. What are they going to learn at this point?
God, that just must suck. You don't have to wear anything, and then you just have to cram that helmet on your head.
Right. Yeah. Well, what it does is the reason for that is it gets you used to your vision.
Oh yeah.
Because like when you're in a helmet, for all of those that have never wore a helmet before, you don't have full vision. Okay. In case you don't notice, there's a big, huge cage on top of their head. So
let's hope Hackett takes.
When you're, even if you're not in contact, like if you're alignment, you got to be able to know how you can, where your vision ends, where you need to turn your head, etc. To make sure that you're lined up right, to see your next block, how it looks like when you're blocking somebody, when you can't see your hands. So you got to know exactly where your hands are going because you're not looking at your hands when you're placing your hands, and so on and so forth for each and every position. A running back, how do you see a hole? You can see a lot more holes when you don't have a helmet on. So if you're running around without a helmet, we don't know if you can actually see holes when it's in game time. But if you put a helmet on, I might not be able to see if you can break tackles, but I can at least see if you got enough vision to see the hole when it shows up. So that's the purpose of having a helmet on. But yeah, it does suck.
Let's just hope that Hackett takes a page out of Shandy's book. If they keep winning, let's give them hat day.
Right.
Let's give them hat day every Saturday before a game or Friday before a game.
Yes.
Let's give them hat week. That's my favorite Shannon story.
Was the Shanahan thing is if you won, Mondays were off day.
Yeah.
Automatically. If you won the game, you didn't have to come to work. No meetings, nothing. If you win Sunday, Monday is all yours. I've always loved that, so I would love to see that returned.
That's my favorite Shannon Sharp story, talking about. No, it was Mark Schlereth. The week they lost to the Giants, it was middle of the game. Everybody was saying, "Don't ruin my hat day."
Yes.
Don't ruin my day off.
Don't ruin my day off. Yes.
And then they lost, and they were all bummed because they had to go to work the next morning.
Toomer last-second touchdown. I remember that game.
Yes. Oh, dude. And they're all sitting there, and Terrell Davis tells that story so well because he was supposed to go do the Sesame Street the next day.
Right.
And he had to fly back to Denver, go to practice, get on a plane, go back to New York.
Yep. Just because of that. Amani Toomer, that was one, we've always talked about, in every sport we talk about how there's always that team or that player that just owns another team no matter what. For whatever reason, Amani Toomer owned the Broncos. If you go back and look at his biggest games ever were always against the Broncos. And they're not even in the same conference. It makes no sense.
It's so funny, dude.
It is.
That's like the Broncos always have great games against Brady, it seems like.
Yep. Yeah, they own
That's
Brady
the one team that owns Brady is us.
Yeah. Exactly. The Broncos are the only team he has a losing record against. The only team. Playoffs, regular season doesn't matter. The Broncos are the only team that has a winning record against him and Belichick since they've come in the league. It's insane to think about that and how bad the Broncos have been in that time frame at points. To think that they actually have a winning record is insane. But it's also like if you want to go baseball, the Marlins own the Rockies. It doesn't matter how bad the Marlins are, they own the Rockies. The Braves own the Rockies. I know there's a lot of teams that own the Rockies, but
every team owns the Rocky.
Essentially,
even the Rangers own, or the Rangers own us.
Yes. So that tells you that's not saying much, but yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just one of those things. It doesn't matter how bad the other team is. They just seem whenever they play that team.
That's like the Knights owning the Avs. There we go. That's better.
There you go. Yeah.
The Knights are always good against the Avs. I don't know what it is.
I don't know either. Or Coyotes. There's an even better one. For some reason, even though the Coyotes are so bad, they always give the Avalanche fit. I don't know why. Even though we took their goalie, they still had our number during the regular season.
That game was so fun last night.
It really was.
Dude, the crowd singing Blink-182 had my heart, dude.
Oh, yes. It's great. I actually got the DJ to interact with me on Twitter. It was kind of funny. I don't know if you saw that, but it was like right after
last night.
It was right after Callie was talking crap about D-Mac.
Oh, I did see that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then so like the DJ had we had said something back and forth, and the DJ for the Avalanche got in on the conversation. I didn't even realize he was the Avalanche DJ until like later on. I go to his page, and he posts up a picture of his seat, and he's like 3 rows from the ice, and I'm like, hey, there's there you go. View.
Oh, dude, I wish I could afford a ticket.
It was nerve-wracking, and I lost life. I'm sure I died at least once. I'm pretty positive.
Got to restart your
pulse. Died and came back to life at least once. But the Avs did it.
Oh, that goal.
Pulled it out, and we're still going for that right here. And this is the OG shirt, like I showed on.
Is that 98 or 6?
That's from 1996, bro.
Yeah, I was in the liquor store last night or the other night, and nice. They had the owner had her 01 T-shirt hanging up with a Sakic jersey next to it.
Heck yeah. I was just debating between this and I almost grabbed my Peter Forsberg jersey, but then I was like, it's like 90 degrees outside, so no.
Hey, what do you mean? I wore a hoodie and joggers today outside, and I was fine.
Really?
I was outside for 5 minutes, but
I was only out there for 5. Yeah. See, there's a bit of a difference. Yeah, I wasn't about to. And then I was like, I really don't want to wear pants, and wearing a hockey jersey with shorts is just weird. So, yeah. I went with the T-shirt.
You look like such a tool if you wear a hockey jersey with shorts. Dude.
I know, right? So I was just like,
you gotta have jeans or joggers at least.
Something long.
You could be wearing dress pants, and I wouldn't even bat an eye.
Right, because I mean, you can't wear a sweater with shorts. It doesn't make any damn sense.
I do it all the time too, and I'm ripping it. I wear these with shorts all the time.
Hoodies are different, though.
Yeah,
hoodies are different. Like, I know it's kind of weird to wear a hoodie with shorts, but that's a Colorado thing. To wear a sweater, like just a
dude, that's my outfit year round. It could be negative 10 degrees, and I'll wear shorts with a hoodie, and I'll be fine outside.
Yeah, see, this boy's crazy.
If it goes negative 11, we go down that one more, then I'll throw on some jeans.
He's like, once we hit that, it's that 11. That's my limit.
That's where I get some jeans or some sweats.
That's where I break. Now, I had a kid like that growing up. A kid named Blake.
I was that kid.
Blake Gockley. There we go. That's his name. I almost said Blake Griffin. I was like, that's not right.
Hey, dude, you know Blake Griffin? How come we didn't get tickets?
I wish. No, Blake Gockley. But that kid was insane. Like, I never saw the closest thing to pants I ever seen that kid wear were rip-away basketball pants. And
Let me guess, they weren't even all buttoned either, huh?
No, they weren't. And he wore them twice, and each time was a blizzard.
Okay,
they made us go to school in.
Okay, so I know I'm crazy wearing a hoodie and shorts in winter, but the people that are crazy to me that wear jeans and a t-shirt in winter, those people are scary. Those are the ones that should not be allowed to buy guns.
He said if you wear...
Yeah. If you wear jeans and a t-shirt in winter, nah.
He says you scare me. That's
You
great.
scare me. You're the one who should be on the watch list to not be able to buy guns. All right? That's where we're at today.
With that one, bro. Oh, that hurt the side a little bit.
I like those. That's crazy to me. But if a kid's wearing a t-shirt and shorts in the blizzard, I won't bat an eye.
I got you. Well, our guys are definitely wearing t-shirts and shorts out here at OTAs, and in those t-shirts and shorts, Judy has gotten into the news for all the right reasons. We've talked ad nauseum enough about his arrest and everything that happened, but now, even though he spoke out for the first time Wednesday since his arrest, what I want to focus on is Justin Simmons saying things like he will be dangerous. Do you believe the hype?
Yes. It's after the year he had last year. I definitely believe it. I mean, 0 touchdowns. You missed 6 weeks, and you didn't rack up that many yards. He's got to be on the hunt for redemption, right? And it sure seems like. I mean, I watched those videos Russ posted months ago when they were in San Diego. I've seen the OTA clips of him there. He looks. I think he looks healthier. He looks faster for sure. I think he's got more muscle on him now, and he's just a beast, dude. He was beating Pat out for passes in the end zone 1-on-1.
Yeah, he's definitely put on some weight. That I will definitely concur. This is kind of that time of the year. You're going to see a lot of guys that are quote unquote in the best shape of their lives. Some are, some aren't. It looks like Judy is one of those that is. Definitely have not seen him that lean, that cut. Since he got here, he's always kind of been a little scrawny, a little skinny.
Yeah, he's a little skinny guy.
You know what I'm saying? Like kind of lanky and all that. So I like the fact that he did put on some extra muscle, maybe help absorb some of those hits, maybe avoid the injured list this year.
In the fumbles.
I think he looks about the same, though. I think he's a great route runner. He's got great feet. All the things that we tout for him, they're great.
I mean, just watching him.
The biggest issue I have is, has he learned to catch the ball? That's it. That's the only thing that's holding Jerry Jeudy back. There's everything. He just needs to catch the damn ball.
There's a few clips I've seen that have really impressed me of him catching passes at OTAs. There was one where I don't think I've ever seen Surtain ever get burned like that, even in Bama and last year before. Jerry just hit a high step on him, dude, and he just fell on his ass, and he just went to the corner of the end zone and got it.
Yes, I agree. But that's the thing is this is what Jerry.
But it was the simple catch though. I was like, okay, at least he's not like, because we've seen those before. God, even I know who I'm talking about. Drew Lock is your quarterback, and yada yada. It was like he was dropping those simple passes still. Those ones right to him. And watching him catch the practices.
It wasn't like Wes Welker in the Super Bowl that people were like, why did he not make that catch when he had to do a circus spin and no, it wasn't any of that. It was just balls that hit him straight in the chest that dropped, that were literal drops. I'm not talking about Drew Lock throwing it over his head or Teddy Bridgewater being the reason he got hurt in the beginning. I know a lot of people don't like me saying that, but it's the truth. The reason KJ Hamler and Jerry Jeudy got hurt were because of absolutely piss poor ball placement by Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater is the reason both of those men got hurt. Period. You can't convince me otherwise, and I will convince you that I'm right. But that being said, he has shown these flashes throughout OTAs, training camp, mini camp. He's always looked great in practice. He has looked like an all-pro in every single practice he has ever had. Both Alabama and the pros.
It's just something about this year for me, though.
Yeah. I mean,
like that's how I've said it last year. I'm sitting there like, it's a different year. And I'm like,
I definitely understand buying into the hype. Like, I get it. Like, I'm not judging you because you believe the hype. I'm just simply saying I got to see it in the game.
I do too.
I'm tired of hearing every moment since Jerry Jeudy was drafted that he's just going to be a great player that has otherworldly route running and all this. I don't care if he's faster. I don't care if he's shiftier. I don't care if he's bigger, stronger. Only thing I care about is, will he catch the ball on 3rd and long past the sticks when it hits him in the chest.
See,
That's the only thing that matters to me at this point.
I do need to see that in the game. And I don't care if it's preseason. If it's preseason, if we're seeing them finally playing against other teams for the first time, they're in there for, I don't know, 1 or 2 series, get them some balls, let's see what's going to happen here. Because they're going to at least play a couple of series in the preseason, the first team offense.
And the great thing is all 3 Broncos preseason games will be broadcast live on NFL Network. So if you have NFL Network, we could see this live. It's not like
I do have NFL Network
where you have to wait for the replay to come out. Like
Yeah.
They will be actually broadcasting them live. So we'll have that little bit of a bonus in the preseason.
Yeah, and as soon as I get to see that, and if I see, because they never go hard in the preseason. The first teams don't. First team offense and first team defense don't.
No,
it's the people under. Yeah,
and getting out healthy. That's all.
And it's the people. It's the second stringers and the third stringers that are going to be playing their hearts out, and that's where it gets entertaining. That's where it gets entertaining.
Yeah,
there's some entertaining football in there during the preseason.
Yeah, I don't think enough people give respect to the young kids and the guys fighting for a roster spot in the preseason. I'm glad you brought that up because not many people talk about that. Is that give them some respect because you don't watch the preseason. If you're watching the preseason games to watch starters, you're an idiot because of what Dylan just described. If you're there to see what the starters are going to do, you're a moron. That's not what that's for. But if you want to see the depth of a roster, you want to see how good this team can be once injuries start piling up. Because again, this is the National Football League. Injury risk is 100%.
Oh, so, shit.
Once the injuries start piling up, that depth is what matters. And the preseason is where you get to see whether or not that depth is worth it. And you saw, especially with the Broncos last year, for example, in the preseason, that's where everybody got to know Jonathan Cooper. That's where everybody got to know
my boy Baron Browning.
Yes, Baron Browning. That's where everybody got to see him and his, athletic freakishness. That's where we all got to see the depth that would come to be crucial for the Broncos to keep them from being a top 5 picking team that knocked them down into the top 10.
Yeah.
So,
hey, I'll take top 10 all day, baby. Let's go.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, oh God, sorry. I just whacked my knee on my
players
chest.
And gaining hype after they've been in the league for a few years. Michael Ojemudia, a guy that I have talked about a lot. I know I have spoken about him. Dylan has spoken about him.
Hype.
We really like this guy, and we are not the only ones, as it turns out. Pat Surtain was asked by NFL.com who has caught his eye the most in the cornerback group. And this is a cornerback group that, again, includes himself, Pat Surtain, Ronald Darby, Quan Williams, Michael Ojemudia, and then some. And without hesitation, Pat Surtain II came out with Michael Ojemudia, saying that he has turned into a different type of player. And the reason I bring this up is because those of you that have watched us from the beginning knows how much I've talked about Michael Ojemudia not being able to secure interceptions. You saw it in the last game of the season with the Chiefs, where he had literally 2 balls smack him in the face in the end zone that he dropped.
And it's being able to watch it, his rookie season. There are those glimpses of, of hope of him being a star. And last season, don't get me wrong, he didn't play as much as he did last season compared to his rookie season. But there were those moments. Yeah, there were those moments that he was like, okay, he could be a top guy. He could be number 2 corner on this team.
Be a starter.
Yeah, and that's what I'm excited for this year. Not only is there finally depth at the cornerback position on the Broncos, is we're going to be able to see Pat Surtain and Michael Ojemudia lined up across from each other. Because I still thought he was the lockdown corner. Even if he wasn't getting those interceptions, he was still locking the receivers down.
Yeah, he definitely – I mean, yes, he had rookie mistakes. His rookie season, he got burned.
And he's still making mistakes. Don't get me wrong.
He's a 3rd-round pick. It's not like he was Pat Surtain picked in the top 10.
God, that man's taking over that locker room.
To be a shutdown. But, again, Michael Ojemudia is 6'2", over 200 pounds, and ran a sub 4.40. He has all the size, speed, and athleticism to be a top tier cornerback in this league. So the infuriating thing with me hasn't been the fact that I didn't think he was good or talented. I have loved Michael Ojemudia since he was drafted. I have talked about how much I loved him since he was drafted.
He's great.
So my thing is the fact that one of the biggest highlights this year, if you did not realize who that was, which was the diving interception in the end zone on Russell Wilson in these OTAs, that, my friends, was Michael Ojemudia. The same guy that couldn't catch a pass that smacked him in the face just 6 months ago made that catch. So you can tell where he has put his focus, because he knows in the NFL as a cornerback, it's all well and good if you can knock passes down. That's great. Passes defensed is an actual stat in the NFL. So it's obviously important. But the key to being a top-tier cornerback and getting top-tier cornerback money is catching the football. Interceptions, the name of the game. So he has focused on those hands. And a guy that had apparently bricks for hands just 6 months ago, all of a sudden has some really soft hands. He's made 3 picks so far in OTAs and minicamp.
And watching him, he doesn't need to really change anything up that much, anything, on everything he's been doing except for interceptions.
Yeah,
I mean, look at him. He's great at sticking to the receiver. He's great at jumping up and fighting for a pass with the receiver, trying to get it out, bat it down, just anything to get it away from his hands. He just needs to work on holding on to that ball, get some stickum on his gloves, basically.
Exactly. And I mean, think about it. Having 2 cornerbacks that are 6'1" or taller, both cornerbacks over 200 pounds, and both cornerbacks run a sub 4.40. And that's insane, dude. That means that you can literally match up against anybody. You've got the size to go up against the DeAndre Hopkins. You have the speed to go up against the Tyreek Hill. And you have the elusiveness to go up against the Larry Legends. And then you have Quan Williams and Ronald Darby behind those guys. Quan Williams, when healthy, is one of the best slot corners in the game.
Ronald Darby is just
a legitimate starting cornerback in this league. Is he a superstar? No. But he's a legitimate starter.
He's a starter for a reason. Starter for a reason. But I want to take this talk about Surtain while we're still here. God, man, that guy has just taken over that locker room. The way they talk about him, it feels like he's been in the league for 6-7 years.
Don't they, though?
My God, listening to Justin Simmons talk about him.
He has taken over, bro.
Yeah. And the way Champ Bailey's talked about him on Twitter and on shows, I just feel like he's just been in the league for...
Oh, yeah. Champ, I mean, have we ever heard Champ talk about any other player? At all?
Chris Harris. That's when they played together.
Right. And then for him to talk, wax poetically about this second-year player, the greatest cornerback to ever grace the field in Denver or Washington, is waxing poetically about this kid. That should be enough for you to understand just how great Pat Surtain is going to be, and just how brilliant George Payton is for taking him over Justin Fields. Because, I mean, Justin Fields is the guy that just said to the media, we're not ready to play. A year after telling everyone, the NFL is not that fast, and then throwing 5 picks in his first NFL start. Come on, people. Are we still debating whether or not Pat Surtain was the real choice? Because if you are...
Dude, I was talking to a guy the other day that was still mad we didn't take Justin Fields.
Are we serious, people?
And I was like, why are you mad? Look who we have now. Look at how that pick that they took instead of Justin Fields has turned out in one season.
Do you think that they make the trade for Russell Wilson if they drafted Justin Fields?
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't.
You don't think so?
No, because Peyton that would have been his guy.
I mean, let's. This is the way I think about it. If he played how he did this year with Denver, there's a chance they trade him to Seattle to get Russ.
I mean, yeah, there's that possibility. They could have traded both Locke and Fields. I guess there's that chance. But to me, when you take a guy in the top 10, I mean, yes, I have screamed for people to start learning from the Arizona Cardinals who took quarterbacks in back-to-back drafts in the top 10. But I digress. I don't see that being a widespread thing. So to me, if you take a guy in the top 10, you're kind of married to him.
I know how shitty this sounds.
But I mean, it is also Russell Wilson. Would I make that trade? Yes.
In a heartbeat.
I would make that trade in a heartbeat.
And, I don't care. But watching...
Most GMs just wouldn't.
I mean, I know this is a horrible comparison to say. It's like with Tebow and Manning, right? Even though they didn't trade Tebow to the Colts, they shipped his ass off to the Jets.
Yeah, but I would rather have Justin Fields than Tim Tebow. If we're talking pure talent. So
who do I want for
but I get what you're saying. Like, I'm not trying to just completely crap all over your analogy. I get what you're saying.
Who do I want for fourth quarter comebacks? I want Tim Tebow.
I want Tim. Dude, I want that Broncos defense.
Dude, that season was so
I think that is the most disrespected defense of all time.
Yeah,
I think, and the reason I say that is because everybody talks about the Tebow magic. Well, how about the fact that a defense held a team to 13 points, even though their offense had scored nothing until 2 minutes left in the game? Okay, we're talking about the Dolphins game, the miraculous comeback.
Oh, I thought we were going to talk about the Jets game because that was the same thing.
That's another one. Now, that was the one game that Tim Tebow single-handedly won it at the end. That run at the end was insane. But that was also an absolutely stupid call. They called a zero blitz, and the Broncos picked it up, which meant there was only one guy left to stop Tim Tebow. And I'm sorry, but a safety is not stopping Tim Tebow. So that was more of the Jets making a really dumb call as opposed to Tim Tebow being otherworldly.
You know how crazy that season was? It was so weird.
It was insane, dude. It made
it was
no
something
sense.
that was like Tim Tebow didn't try
whatsoever.
until there was 2 minutes left in the game.
Yes.
And even then he didn't throw the ball
whatsoever.
How many passing touchdowns did he have? Like 4?
I think it was something like that. Like, it was only a handful. Like, he had more interceptions than touchdowns.
You need to look up that old SNL skit that they did on Tebow.
Which one?
The one where they're in the locker room and Jesus.
Yes, I know exactly.
He's like, Jesus, I got to thank you for everything. He's like, are you thanking me? Thank your kicker. And it's just Matt Prater sitting in the corner.
Right. Yes. I know. I knew exactly where you were going. I was like, he's going to use the kicker. Yes. That's a great skit right there.
Matt Prater carried that season. I don't care what anybody says.
He did. Like, he led the league in points because the offense was so inept. He just had to kick everything.
Didn't Brandon McManus lead the points of the year they won the Super Bowl?
Do what now?
Didn't Brandon McManus lead like the team in points the year they won the Super Bowl?
Yeah, but that was because Manning and them scored so many damn touchdowns.
The year they
2015,
won.
Yeah, that was because of that. And I think he also led the league in points in 2013 when he threw the 50-some touchdowns just because of how many extra points.
That was Prater still.
Was that Prater?
That was still Prater. The year after that was
then
McManus.
Prater led the league.
Yeah.
That's right.
He had too many DUIs. Johnny cut his ass.
McManus came in 14.
Yeah.
That's right.
Johnny cut him after the DUIs started stacking up.
Yep.
I don't know how he has a license or Todd Helton. Just going to bring that up, but
yeah, I know we all love Todd Helton, but yeah, money. That's why. That's the only reason why. They have money and they were able to buy lawyers that were good enough to make sure they were able to keep.
Todd.
Yes. So
I miss you.
Yes, we do. We definitely miss you, and I think actually, damn, we just went through an hour. I really did not realize we had hit an hour.
Yeah, you know what time I joined? It was 4 minutes in. I didn't get in until 20.
Oh, jeez. Gotcha. I was going off about damn gun buyback program.
I know my rights.
I know my rights, damn it. It's my Second Amendment that I don't know what it says. But
South will rise again.
It tells me the South will rise and we will have our guns when we do it. No. I think that's a good place.
Screw it. Let's ship them to Cuba.
Far off the rails here. But yeah, I think this is a good place to end.
They want rights. Let's ship them to Cuba. And they say they have no rights. let's send them to North Korea. Let's see what they
right. Send them over there for just a day.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say an extended time, just a day. I bet you money they come back with a whole new perspective on life. That is definite. But again,
wait, what was that country?
Before we go too far off the rails, excuse me. For the Answers 42 Media Network, as always, I am your host, Dan Wetstein. That is my co-host, Dylan Miles. We are here for now every Thursday at 6:30. We will be here for you guys for an hour, so make sure you tune in. I appreciate the likes, the comments, the new subscribers. We got a couple of those while we were on, so I appreciate and love every single one of y'all. We have almost hit 1,600 followers on Twitter. We are at almost 1,000 followers on Instagram, and tomorrow could change everything. We'll just put it that way and end it at that. So make sure y'all stay tuned. Some really big things are in the works. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And as always, for the Answers 42, don't question the blue.